Hello. We are going to talk about the gene key that we are moving through this week. It is gene key 33, one of my most favorite numbers, and a beautiful key, a key I hadn't dug into much at all. So it's going to be hopefully really nourishing for you and supportive as you navigate through this week, which has some interesting astrology as well going on. So we are just a few days shy of a new moon, and Mercury retrograde shadow is in full effect and has been in full effect. And so this gene key is really nourishing. Um, I feel in relation to those transits as well. So, as always with transits, if you can just seek to understand them and not resist them or aim to just continue pushing on with life as normal, instead, respect them, honor them, and move with them, then you'll be able to milk the gold and goodness out of them. So, Gene Key 33, it moves from the shadow of forgetting to the gift of mindfulness to the city of revelation. And oh, it's so beautiful. So let's read from the blog first. You can take a deep breath and start to allow yourself to become open and centered and grounded. The 33rd gene key is a master of reflection and retreat. It withdraws in order to draw sustenance from the past, from its mistakes, and from history. If we don't let our awareness rest, then how will we really see what's going on in our lives? This gene key is full of natural wisdom, secrets, and revelations. But unless we prioritize our inner life, then our lives are really unlived and unloved. Wow. So, beginning with the shadow. The shadow of forgetting. The trial of forgetting is the hallmark of the 33rd gene key. Yet trials don't have to be overwhelming. They're only overwhelming when we forget to pay attention. And when we blunder on without pausing to reflect or stop to contemplate, we miss the vital clues. So we struggle rather than learn from life. Savoring the sweetness of the past requires time put aside, attention, and focus. If you don't give yourself these moments each day, your life will be exhausting, and it will be a life with no harvest. By pausing to reflect, we come into the present moment fully, and we gain the perspective or wisdom from our lives. So, the repressive nature, reserved. These are extremely hidden people. They find it very difficult to communicate with others and often cannot break out of their own silence. They may have the experience of being forgotten by the world. Their natural tendency is to simply hide from people, and they usually find all kinds of ways to do this in their work, through an enforced discipline or life choice, by living in isolation or far from others, or simply through a deep psychological insecurity that keeps them in a kind of torpor or numbness. These people find it very difficult to stay in relationships since intimacy demands that they come out of their shell. When they do finally begin to awaken, they can surprise both themselves and others with how much wisdom they have absorbed over the course of their lives. That's the repressive nature reserved, and the reactive nature is censorious. Rooted in anger, the reactive side of the 33rd shadow will express itself as an invasive behavior pattern that unconsciously tries to provoke reactions in others in order to not feel alone. The nature of this pattern is censorship. These people can be adept at understanding the emotional locks that keep others in a state of forgetting. Thus, they try to get attention by pointing out the negative patterns of others, sometimes under the guise of helping them. This almost always achieves the desired reaction, anger, from the other person. However, this way of getting attention is obviously extremely self destructive and unsatisfying. It leads to a buildup in the resentment and creates more anger until an inevitable explosion ensues. When these people learn to break their pattern of projecting their rage onto others, they finally begin to remember what it is like to love and be loved. So, this is our shadow in the 33. forgetting, and we all have access to this key, whether you have it activated in your profile or not. You have access to it always by focus and contemplation, but it is a frequency that's activated in our world right now, which is really interesting. And I wanted to share with you the dates on that. July 30th to August 5th. So we still have a few days where we're in it. Water break. Okay. The gift of mindfulness. Mindfulness is gently bringing yourself into the now moment. It's simply observing your inner and outer environment without any expectation or personal judgment. It's also about creating, tapping into the bounty of your active imagination. And it's remembering to celebrate your past successes and what you've learned from your mistakes. Think about your most magical moments. Think about what was best about yesterday and bring it back into your memory. Bring it into your body and into your cells and let your DNA become flooded with the sincerity and the sweetness of such memories. There's no need to focus on difficult memories. Just let them go into the stream of the past and forgive yourself those moments of forgetting. Just harvest the very best for yourself and of others. Really beautiful. I had a lot of clients yesterday. And one of my clients in particular that I'm thinking of now, though, um, was referring to some trauma that had happened in her past and continually. And usually, when that happens, I often get the sense that the person wants to divulge more, but is waiting to be prompted and asked. And and sometimes I will, and it depends. Everything has its caveats, as you know. But I sensed in the moment, and I'm grateful for this confirmation, that it wasn't beneficial to bring up the past stories and to tell the story again, which I had sensed and she had shared. She had said it many, many times and been telling the past stories, forgetting the beauty, which had to have been there, had to have. And solely remembering the pain and the struggle and the suffering. And so it was really a powerful shift when I asked her, what if we didn't speak about your trauma of your past? What if we assumed it was perfect because it was what happened and it's exactly what you needed to make you the woman that you are right now? And what if we focus on all of the beautiful gifts and wisdom that you have right now in this moment? And she was like, that feels freeing. So for me, mindfulness is speaking to that. I'll give you one more nugget from the gift. It says, and by the way, I'm reading from the Gene Keys Bible by Richard Rudd. I call it the Bible. In Buddhism, there is a well known meditation technique called vipassana. Vipassana. Although it can be translated in many ways, it points towards a witnessing of self awareness. In one sense, every one of the 64 gifts is a type of vipassana, a self witnessing that is a prelude to the shaking off of negative patterns of your own shadows. True transcendence only occurs at the level of the siddhi, but the bridge to the higher levels is the myriad of techniques and themes of the 64 gifts. So the gifts are the bridges. At the gift frequency technique is still extremely valid, which is why meditation or contemplation is so helpful. For most people, it is the gift that is the most accessible route to the higher dimensions. In fact, you might say that the shadow is the seed, the gift is the flower, and the siddhi is the fruit. One step automatically leads to the next. Mindfulness is not really a technique, although it can be in the beginning. Mindfulness is the organic flowering of self awareness or self remembering. I also love that phrasing. And I often say it if you come and get a reading with me, or even when we're in circle, I share that I'm just reminding you of what you already know. As you awaken within the Maya, the gift of mindfulness springs up from within you as a natural aspect of your nature. As soon as you begin to witness your karmic patterns in action, your sanskaras begin to unwind. To be mindful means to catch yourself in the middle of a heated argument and to realize that you have forgotten your true nature. In effect, it is to see your own victimhood as you begin to see through these unconscious tendencies that have driven your nature for so long. A new awareness develops within you. It is important to understand that at the frequency level of the gifts, you are not yet free from the patterns, but you are engaged in a process that is progressively weakening them. Boom. 33 Siddhi revelation. And you can see, I love to zoom out and think about, okay, shadow of forgetting, gift of mindfulness, city of revelation. I really hope you can see the thread in those three. Revelation always comes as silence, as an ending. All stories must come to an end, all bad things must come to an end, yet all good things will live forever. One day the harvest will be over, and you'll reap the harvest of all your very best thoughts, deeds, and yearnings. Take a moment to pause and reflect on what life has just delivered for you. It is in these quiet moments that your most valuable lessons can surface to reveal a truth. Trust that. Determine what to take forward. Consider what to let go of. Then allow your body to reveal how you can best renew your strength. Reflect on how your mind is caught up in the worries, fears, angers, or regrets. This is a state called forgetfulness. You are there, but not here. What is keeping you trapped in the past, in the future? Contemplate when you are not mindful of being in the here and now. This is very reminiscent of what I spoke about when I spoke about the 20th gene key being laced throughout all of the keys. And the 20th gene key speaks about self assuredness and it bridges to the city of presence. So be here now. And as you are mindful, as you're witnessing, you are making magic. This was another thing that one of my clients asked me yesterday is how can I protect myself more from darker, negative, denser energy? And I said, just have awareness. Just be mindful. Just breathe. Just be there now. And the more you do that, the more you'll recognize, I don't like this. Something in here. I don't like this. Something is increasing my anxiety level. Is it that person? Is it this conversation? Is it the food? Is it the drink? Is it the environment? Maybe get curious, learn yourself and your responses, and then honor them. And it's that shadow of the 20, the superficiality, the forgetting of the 33rd, where we numb and just pretend, well, my friends like this place, so I'll just stay here. Or they're having a good time, so I'll just wait until they're done. Or I'll drink their drink because they're having it and I don't want to be left out in FOMO and all of that. So it's these moments where we pretend we are present in superficiality. We're superficially imposed. We're not truly present. We're not there and saying, I actually don't want to drink alcohol. Or does someone want to finish this drink? I'd love a mocktail. Or I don't even like coffee. Why do I keep coming to this coffee shop that doesn't even have tea? Whatever. Okay. Another nugget here from the city, Revelation. Out of revelation comes true silence. The beings manifesting this city have nothing whatsoever to say, and if they do speak, it is to say that there is nothing whatsoever to say. There are so many amusing ways to say this. Of course, this city is also about remembering. It is literally, as the word suggests, remembering to enter into all the separate members of your greater body until you realize there is only one of everything. True remembering is a kind of detonation inside you, a flash flood that wipes out your past and reveals the greater mystery of all, the mystery of the eternal now. And so we have access to this energy this week. And one of the reasons I said that it's so beautiful that we also have a new moon and a Mercury retrograde is a lot of those energies are contemplative, reflective energy, settling, neutralizing, diminishing. Um, and it's a great time to reflect and notice what's there in the shadows, or what has happened, and to make some sense of it and to bring some mindfulness to it, and perhaps even within your silence of contemplation have some sort of spark that detonates inside of you, some sort of fire, flame, awareness, revelation. So contemplate these words literally. Contemplate revelation. Contemplate forgetting. I think even when we walk out of the house and we forget something, it's because we're not present. Mindfulness. And I often say that if I'm having a hard time or if I'm trying to express myself, sometimes I'll remind myself I'm attempting to be mindful to how I express this to you, or I'll affirm what it is that I'm wanting to generate in that moment. So I love you. Enjoy these next couple of days of Gene Key 33. I had a wonderful break yesterday from the Phoenix Diaries and a ton of clients. My voice was very grateful for those 1 day a week breaks that I've nestled into this project. But with that being said, it's a great honor and joy to continue to bring you these messages. And I genuinely hope that they serve you and support you as you navigate through your week, your day, your journey. I love you. Enjoy.